Hello guys, again this is Midnight, back at it again for another review, and this time around we will be doing a review for the ROG Phone 3. Now we've actually done a review on the ROG Phone 2, so this time around titignan natin yung key difference, significant changes and improvements on the newer version, which is the ROG Phone 3. So to start the mini comparison video, sisimulan natin sa display. There are similarities between two phones. ROG Phone 2 had a 6.59-inch display as well as the Phone 3. Again guys, the screen is diagonally measured, so ito yung 6.59 inches na display na makikita nyo for the ROG Phone 2 and the ROG Phone 3. Now the trend continues as well for the resolution. The ROG Phone 3 has a 1080 by 2340 resolution. The glass is also Corning Gorilla Glass 6, so matibay pa rin naman ang ating device. Now the key changes come in the highlight of this cellphone, The refresh rate of 144Hz, meaning 144 frames ang nakikita natin per second on the display. There's also a change as well on the screen to body ratio. Although this is a newer phone, there's a decrease on the screen to body ratio, Before it was 80% for the ROG Phone 2, now it's 79.9% on the ROG Phone 3. So minimal changes lang naman, and it doesn't affect the quality since the pixel per inches quality of the cell phone remains the same on 391 ppi. Again, ppi meaning pixels per inches, and that number defines how crispy or sharp your image is on the display. So display is still the same excellent display that we've seen on the ROG Phone 2. Key difference again guys, 144Hz. Mas marami tayong nakikitang frames ngayon compared to the ROG Phone 2. Siyempre, pag-usapan din natin yung gaming performance or yung power or capabilities ng device. This unit is powered by Snapdragon's latest chipset 865 Plus. Again guys, may plus, so mukhang maganda at malakas ang performance ng cellphone nito. It's backed as well by 8 cores, one 3.1 GHz Cryo 585, 3 2.42 GHz Cryo 585, and 4 1.8 GHz Cryo 585. So hindi kayo mauubusan ng cores. The thing is, this variant that I'm holding actually has one 2.9 GHz Cryo 585 compared to the highest variant of the ROG Phone 3, which is the 3.1 GHz Cryo 585. But the thing is, hindi na noticeable dahil sobrang lakas naman na ng ROG Phone 3. Dagdag mo pa sa lakas ng cellphone na to ang kanyang GPU, which is Adreno 650, an improvement from the previous one, which was Adreno 640. Now for the internal memories, there are a lot of variants on the ROG Phone 3. It starts from 128 gigs and the variant extends up to 512 gigs. The full list of the variants are here. Lilista ko na lang dahil sobrang dami niyan. But essentially, the lowest end of the variant spectrum has 128 gigs of internal memory and 8 gigs of RAM. And for the highest variant, we have 512 gigs of internal memory storage and 16 gigs of RAM. Now you're gonna ask the question, bakit hanggang 512 gig lang ang ROG Phone 3? When in fact, merong 1 gig version ng ROG Phone 2. ASUS ROG decided to go with speed. With the newest UFS 3.1, wala pang support for 1TB memory. So they went with the faster option, which had 512 gigs of internal memory storage, and the trade-off was that they don't have the 1TB option or variant for the ROG Phone 3. We never know, baka magkaroon bigla ng 1TB version ang ROG Phone 3 kapag nag-support na ang UFS 3.1. Do take note guys that the ROG Phone 3 has no expandable storage, meaning hindi ka makakapagsaksak ng external SD card mo for your files, pero kasyang-kasya naman yan. Ang dami actually ng storage for this device, 512 gigs kahit anong ilagay mo dyan. I think hindi mo mapupuno ito, kahit pictures, videos, movies, games, or kung ano man ilagay mo dyan, ay hindi mapupuno basta-basta ang cellphone na to. Now for the camera. Personally, medyo mahigpit ako pagdating sa mga camera. But then again, I've said it before, ROG Phone 2, although it's a gaming smartphone, it sacrifices on the camera department. I think the quality at this point on, it has reached the potential of being an all-rounded phone. That's why the camera has been given praises by a lot of people actually. Although marami nagsasabi na hindi ganun kaganda yung camera, again, for me, it has reached a point that it has been decent. And to be honest with you, the Phone 2 is decent. Ngayon, Phone 3, it's very close to being a DSLR quality camera. To start things off, bakit ko nasabing maganda itong camera na to? Photo quality, 64 megapixel on the main camera. Guys, 64 megapixels with an aperture of f1.8 and a range of 26mm as the wide lens. Add to that the ultra-wide secondary camera with 13 megapixel with an aperture of f2.4. And add to that the third camera, yes, may pangatlong camera, which is the 5 megapixel macro lens with an aperture of f2.0. Now for the selfie camera, again the similarities are there. It's still 24 megapixels, but the changes is with the aperture. Now the lens has an aperture of f2.0 compared to the 2.2 of the ROG Phone 2. What this means is that the lens can open up more to let in more light, meaning mas malinaw ang images nyo ngayon dahil mas bright, less noise, and more beautiful sa pagsiselfie. Now the key change on the camera department is on the video side. Matutuwa ang mga video enthusiasts out there, lalo mga vloggers, mga YouTubers, dahil guys, 8K ready ang ROG Phone 3. It can shoot 8K videos at 30fps, 4K videos at 30 or 60fps, 1080p can go as high as 240fps. Now, 120 and 240fps is already slow-mo territory, no? So, hindi kayo magkukulang pagdating sa B-roll and cinematic shots. And sa mga vloggers na nag-aalala dyan kung kailangan ba nila ng stabilizer, don't worry that the camera has an electric image stabilization. Do take note that it's electric, not the optical one, dahil the key difference is that the optical image stabilization stabilizes the lens itself. Pero with EIS, electric image stabilization, it does the job with the software. So to quickly explain, here's a quick preview on how the stabilization works. Electric image stabilization crops in on the footage. It looks like it's zooming in, parang pumapasok siya sa footage mismo, tapos tsaka niya ini-stabilize. So merong algorithm dyan, may formula to stabilize the footage, and when it's done, it gives you a cropped or zoomed in footage as the stabilized version. When you're using OIS or optical image stabilization, it stabilizes the lens. So there's no cropping and done, there's no zooming in, it just stabilizes the lens. So the electric image stabilization as shown here is doing a fantastic job. It removes the jitters and the quick camera movements and it feels very smooth. Nagka-problema ako actually with the stabilization that the Phone 2 had, pero with Phone 3, I think nasagot ni ASUS ROG yung problema nila with video stabilization. Yung blurriness ng edges and at the same time yung pagkakaramdam mo ng video stabilization. The effect is quite noticeable, no? Literal na parang makikita mo na uy, may mga fragments, may mga artifacts. Pero with ROG Phone 3, although it's not completely removed, a lot of it has been fixed. So kudos to ASUS ROG for doing a fantastic job on that department. But to be honest with you, they've done an even better fantastic job on the camera hardware mismo, no? Kasi even though if you turn off the video stabilization, it looks fantastic. Although andun yung mga jitters, andun yung mga quick camera movements, the footage is quite workable. And to be honest with you, almost all footage from the camera can already be edited and uploaded to YouTube or the internet. Ganong kaganda ang quality na binibigay ng cellphone na to. Now, let's test the sound of the ROG Phone 3. For starters, it's technically the same on the spec sheet. Pero I've heard that they've done a hardware change on this one. I think it's regarding the magnets, no, na ginagamit ng speakers. Pero it's still DTS-X stereo speakers with two dedicated amplifiers, no, both on the ROG Phone 2 and the ROG Phone 3. So to know the changes, let's test the speakers of the ROG Phone 3. So malakas siya guys, no? Para malaman nyo kung gaano kalakas, nakikipag-away ako sa audio ng cellphone. Ganon siya kalakas guys. So, on the ROG Phone 2, there was actually an issue with the volume, no? Yung leveling ng volume, hindi pantay-pantay. So, let's test the ROG Phone 3 kung naayos na nila to, no? So, this is at 100%. And to press down, it's looking good. But yeah, may talon pa rin, no? Hindi pa rin equal talaga yung leveling or yung percentages ng volume ng ROG Phone 3. So, I'm at somewhere between 80 to 90%, no? Probably 85%. Pero it's already sounding like it's 55 or 60. So, hindi pa rin talaga, no? Hindi pa rin talaga, you know, hindi accurate yung volume level ng ROG Phone 3. But then again, I think hindi naman ganun kalaking problema since most of the time, you'd want your volume to be at 100%, no? Ayan, ang lakas guys. Again, nakikipag-agawan ako sa sound ng phone. So regarding the sound quality, it's crisp, it's nice. Although lacking sa bass department, I think they've done a fantastic job, no, on pulling off the the sound on this device. It's a very good, quality on the sounds. If you want to share your music with your friends or nagsa-sound trip lang kayo sa sasakyan or sa kwarto kung nasaan man na kayo, kung gusto niyo mag-sound trip and wala kayong speaker, this phone should do its job. So the last feature that I want to talk about on the ROG Phone 3 is the battery. Again, the similarities continue as this phone still has 6,000 mAh on the battery. So if you have any concerns on the battery life of this phone, tapon nyo na yan. Dahil guys, hindi nyo ma-experience yung feeling na parang, uy, mauubusan na ako ng charge. Dahil kahit nasa 15% na kayo, matagal-tagal pa yung battery nito. I've actually had a marathon, no, gaming marathon with a couple of friends. No? We've played for 5 hours. And fortunately, buhay pa rin yung battery. It still had energy on the device. And natulog ako. Hindi ako nakapag-charge ng cellphone. And up until the next day, no, nagamit ko siya hanggang hapon bago na-drain yung battery. Kasi nakakatamad mag-charge. Alam mo, hanapin mo yung charger ko o and sasaksak ko, diba? Tinamad ako eh. So, umabot ako ng hapon and fortunately, it still had 2% on it, no? So, regarding the battery life, it's very, very reliable, no? I'm not underestimating and I'm not overestimating the reliability of the battery. It is very reliable. Literally, guys, if you just do minimal task, this device can last up to 2 days. Medyo realistic eh, kasi may mga device na 3,000 mAh lang and buong araw mo siya magagamit. So 6,000 mAh, it just doubles up and you can literally use it for 2 days. Regarding the charging naman, the phone can charge up to 40% in just 30 minutes. Teka lang. Sasabihin nyo na 40% parang lower than average yun ah. Papaalala ko lang sa inyo guys 6,000 mAh battery. 40% that is gonna give you 2,400 mAh. So that is really enough for you to continue your daily task or your gaming sessions. Compared to other smartphones, yung 40% na yon, that's really big. Yung 2,400 mAh na yun, for other smartphones, that's 70 to 75% already just with 30 minutes of charging. So, 6,000 mAh, fast charging, really, really reliable when it comes to the battery life. Now, let's talk about the physical aspect of this device. Number one, we have to talk about the body, okay? So, the body itself is very, very clean. The design is very minimal, the approach is nice, and gusto ko yung direction na pinupuntahan ni ROG, no? Tinatanggal niya yung pagiging gaming smartphone while maintaining the gaming aspect, no? Kasi tayo mahilig tayo sa RGB, mahilig tayo sa mga random lines, and the aesthetic still remains, pero they've reduced the the in-your-face aspect of this cell phone. And in turn, what we have now is a very minimal and sleek looking device. The backside of this device, no, is very, very beautiful. The light is glaring as RGB as well. Literal, guys. Yung light, pag tumama dito, hindi na siya light. Nakikita mo rin color spectrum ng light mismo, no. Nakikita mo yung RGB. Kasi nga nag-glare siya. Although, the trade-off is that dahil nga glass panel siya, it's fingerprint heavy, kaya mapapapunas talaga kayo. Pero yeah, ang itsura ng likod, tsaka nung harap, although yung harap medyo similar sa phone 2, it's sexy AF. Look at this. Sobrang sexy. Slick, minimal, and oh my goodness, it looks beautiful. This is probably one of the sexiest smartphones that I've ever seen, no? And yung susunod, sobrang layo pa rin ng itsura sa totoo lang. So one thing that I have to point out on the device itself, no, yung physical device, is that wala nang 3.5mm headphone jack, okay? Dito sa baba. Although ang katabi niya is yung USB Type-C, andyan pa rin, USB 3.1 I believe Type-C charging port. And meron din naman dito sa may left side ng cellphone, isang USB Type-C. Pero do take note that the other Type-C, no, dalawa kasi to, it cannot be used. That's why it's marked red. Makikita nyo rin yan sa plastic mismo ng ROG Phone 3 na bawal gamitin to. It's because of the Aero Active Cooler, no? Diyan po sinasaksak yung Aero Active Cooler. And by the way, pag-usapan natin ito mamaya. Pero let's talk about the ano muna. Let's talk about the lack of the 3.5mm head jack muna, no? So, the idea is, well, trend siya, no? Trend siya ng mga gaming or ng mga smartphone devices. Pero the idea is that when you're developing a gaming smartphone, no, you play like this. And nakaharang yung kable kapag nanggaling dito, no? So essentially ganito ka maglaro, may mga butas yung daliri mo. So, I think it was a very smart choice for from ASUS ROG, no, to remove completely the headphone jack and place it here. Kasi nga, guys, pag nagcha-charge ka at maglalaro ka, hindi mo rin naman gusto nandito yung charger. Kaya nga, meron ding included na Type-C port dito para kapag nilagay mo na siya sa gitna, there you go, you have all the cables up here. So you can play like this, no? This is how gaming on a mobile smartphone should be. This is the proper way. Every cable should go under the smartphone. They've done it in a very good manner, no? With the way they made the Aero Active Cooler 3, it just makes things easier. So talking about the Aero Active Cooler 3, no, this is the newer version of the cooler that we've seen from the ASUS ROG Phone 2. So again, it acts like a cooling fan dito sa Phone 3, no. Dahil nga guys, medyo umiinit yung phone na to, no. It's because of the fact that it's an Android phone and it uses up Snapdragon. So, most of the time, you'll feel the heat coming out from this phone. Pero hindi naman na siya ganun kalaking issue compared to Phone 2 kasi nga mas nagdi-dissipate na yung heat from this device and mas nakakatulong yung Aero Active Cooler, no, for the Phone 3. So, one thing that you have to notice with the Aero Active Cooler is that it lights up as well. So, andun pa rin, nare-retain pa rin yung aesthetics, no, even though natatakpan yung logo. So, ROG, again, pinag-aaralan nila mabuti kung paano nila dinedesign yung mga phones nila. There's a reason why it's called Cooler 3, no. It has seen some improvements like this one, no. Meron na siyang stand for your cellphone. Kung manonood ka ng YouTube or Netflix, hindi mo na siya kailangan hawakan dahil pwede mo na siyang iwan na nakaganyan lang, no. So this is one of the advantages of having the newer variants of of the hardwares of ASUS ROG, no. Pero the thing with their phones is that, or their hardware, is that they want to integrate all of them. That's why makikita nyo yung form factor ng ASUS ROG Phone 3 is very similar to Phone 2. It's because of the fact that they have existing hardwares for gaming for Phone 2, no? And they want to integrate that with Phone 3. So, syempre, iiwasan mo palakihin yung phone, iiwasan mo ilipat-lipat yung mga ports niya. Kasi nga, meron kang existing na hardware. So, if you're gonna make a new phone, you'd want that phone to be usable as well on the older hardwares, no? Pero, syempre, ROG makes newer hardwares as well. Like this one, no? Active, yung Aero Cooler 3 nila, it still is the same cooler with added benefits. Ito, meron na siyang stand, and I believe this cools more compared to the Phone 2, no? Pero the idea is there, no? To integrate the Phone 3 to older hardwares of ASUS ROG. So those were the specs for the ASUS ROG Phone 3, and my personal verdict is that this is not a gaming smartphone. This is a very good all-rounder phone, no? Gone are the days that we keep calling ROG phones as gaming smartphones. Yes, they do focus on providing solutions to gaming performance, no? They really want to have that heavy gaming experience on the players. But the thing is, the improvements have reached a point where the phone can be called an all-rounder. The camera is nice, the display is, oh my goodness, one of the best out there. And the gaming performance, it's already there. It's the best specs that you can ask. It's probably one of the best gaming smartphones out there. And we've seen enough. So, personally, titingin ako sa ibang aspect naman ng gaming smartphone. Kasi guys, for the longest time, ROG has been making amazing gaming smartphones, no? And it's time to look at the other aspects. Whatever you name it, League of Legends, Wild Rift, Mobile Legends, Call of Duty, Real Racing, GTA, kahit anumang game yan na pumasok sa mobile, I believe the phone can run on its full potential. Now, the other aspects, the camera, it might have sacrificed on that department, pero it has now caught up. If you still worry about playing some games with the specs of the ROG Phone 3, huwag kayong mag-alala dahil may mga features naman included on this device to boost up its gaming performance. Diyan papasok yung X mode. And it can quickly be activated by just pressing the phone. And makikita nyo yung wallpaper magbabago. Ayan, pinapakita na parang nagagalit yung cellphone. Feeling ko nga guys, yung ROG Phone 3 mismo sinasabi niya mga game publisher. Paki-unlock naman yung 120Hz. Paki-unlock naman yung 144Hz. Kaya ko i-output yung frames dyan. Ako bahala. So I think on the gaming department, ROG Phone 3 already excels at. And looking at other departments, it has been amazing. Camera department, it's nice, almost close to DSLR quality. And again, the display, it's just a huge deal breaker, no? Lalo sa mga PC gamers, maiintindihan nila to. The jump from 60Hz to 90Hz to 120Hz to 144Hz, napakalaki niyan. It's worlds apart. And personally, I really love the display on this device. 144Hz, it's just amazing to look at. Siyempre, dagdag nyo pa dyan yung capabilities ng cellphone. I'm a gamer, I'm a content creator. Gaming, check. And content creation, again, I can shoot my content here. Just put my cell phone out, shoot videos, record vlog, and upload to the internet. And by the way, pwede ka mag-stream dito to YouTube. Although sadly, wala yung Twitch streaming compared to ROG Phone 2. Still, the capabilities are there for you to utilize. Hindi na ako mahihirapan magdala ng pinangre-record ko ngayon, which is my DSLR, my Canon 80D, dahil meron na akong pwede ipaklabas, no? Ito na lang yung ilalabas ko, yung cellphone ko para mag-shoot ng video, mag-shoot ng vlogs, and wala na akong intinding iba pa dahil ibabalik ko na lang sa aking pocket. At hindi ko na kailangan magdala ng bag or any extra lenses dahil enough na itong cellphone na to. Now, of course, we have to talk about its value. The cost of the phone ranges from 40 to 45,000, and if you have that, I'd recommend you buy this gaming phone. Kasi hindi ka natitingin sa mga upgrades anytime soon, okay? In the near future, baka ito pa rin yung tignan mong cellphone. However, if you have the phone 2, I suggest you wait it out. Hintayin mo na lang muna lumabas yung phone 4. Dahil yes, may upgrades, pero hindi naman ganun kalalaki. The ROG Phone 2 is already a very good gaming smartphone. Good camera and very well-rounded phone as well. Pero if you want to really upgrade, ROG Phone 3 is probably a very good choice for you. Personally, this is probably one of the best fit for a smartphone na kailangan ko. Dahil kay lahat ng trabaho ko, lahat ng pwede kong gawin, na po-provide nitong cellphone na to. I can game on it, I can play with my friends, I can share music in a room, I can chit-chat with others while playing music, and at the same time, I can make content with this cellphone. Actually, dito na nga ako nagpe-Facebook Live. Minsan, dito na rin ako nagre-record ng aking mga clips. And dito na rin ako nag-shoot ng vlogs. And as Midnight, I really like how I was able to utilize all the features of this cell phone. To be perfectly clear, this is already an excellent gaming smartphone, a very good all-rounder phone, and to add to that, it's one of the most beautiful looking phones out there. Very sleek, very minimal, and the aesthetics, just oh my goodness. Mind you guys, this experience that I'm sharing with you is just with the package alone. Ang dami pang stand-alone package na kayang i-offer ang ROG Phone 3. There's the kunai gamepad, there's the twin view dock, there's the external monitor display, so the endless possibilities are out there for you to reach. You really are gaming without limits with the ROG Phone 3. So that has been my review for the ROG Phone 3. I'm really in love with this phone and I'm planning to switch on it as my main device. Sa mga gustong bumili dyan, I'm really recommending it to you. Hindi kayo magsisisi. Again guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Midnight and kita-kits tayo sa susunod nating video.